Hola chicos, en este video les va a explicar paso número uno. Hi guys, this video is going to explain to you step number one if you haven't yet done it. Most of y'all have done step number one, which was to obviously make sure that you picked out a name for your alebrije. This slide is simply kind of here for some extra information. We mostly went over it in class just to figure out what an alebrije is, why we might recognize it from the movie Coco, and if you want to learn a little bit more, there's a video about it there. But then we got into the actual bulk of our assignment here, where you are creating your identidad nueva para la clase de español, or your kind of your spirit animal, your new identity for Spanish class. We're kind of taking the shape of an alebrija or alebrije when we do that, okay? So when we look at our steps here, you're going to either use the name you've decided on during the first day of class to make your name tent, that you use to make your name tent, or you're going to be able to create your new identity now if you aren't happy with it or if you don't like what you came up with on day one. Okay, so in order to help you figure out what to do as far as coming up with your name, maybe we go back to that little resource that I posted that says how to help you out. Okay, and a good place to start is always to just use a random Spanish word. Okay, maybe a random Spanish word will help you figure out what you want for your spirit animal. El papá would be dad. You know, I don't know if I want mine to be a dad, okay? La llama would be a llama or llama. Equitación would be horseback riding. Okay, that's kind of weird. La anguila would be eel. La nieve will be snow. La onda will be a wave. El aperitivo is an appetizer. El caballo is a horse. La mayonesa, beautiful. We'll do something with mayonnaise, okay? Because mayonnaise is a great Spanish name and a great place to work from with your spirit animal name. Okay, so if that's just going to be your new Spanish name, that's one. Step one would be to just make sure that we've got that down. We're gonna make sure to just annotate that, right? So I'm gonna write down Mayyonesa or Mayonesa. Okay, now we've got the word la mayonesa here, which is a good indication that it's going to be a feminine word. Not a huge deal, but that means when we describe our mayonnaise, it's also going to be using feminine adjectives. Okay, so I'm still stuck. All right, I'm inspired by this idea of mayonnaise, but I don't know what kind of mayonnaise I want to be. So let's go to this random word generator and switch it over to adjectives. Okay, like it is already here. Oh, ankle's not an adjective. So let's generate a random word now that we've got that. Those are not adjectives, my dude. Let's try adjectives here. Okay, secondhand. Oh, that's kind of gross. Secondhand mayonnaise. Aware mayonnaise. Okay, I don't like that. Successful mayonnaise. Beautiful. Aboriginal mayonnaise. Fallacious. Extra small. Lowly. Body. Descriptive. These are so good. Wrathful. I like it. That way he can be this angry mayonnaise. Beautiful. Okay, wrathful mayonnaise. Now, that's good. Maybe just take a note of the English word wrathful, but we're not going to describe our identity with an English word. That's not cool. Okay. So far, I've basically just on a piece of paper, I've noted that I've got mayonesa and I've got wrathful. But now, next step is going to be to translate that word mayonesa. So back to our resource on Google Classroom. Next step would be to translate this word from English to Spanish. So we've got our translator set from English to Spanish. We're going to look up the word wrathful. Okay, beautiful. It shows up right there. We'll click. And we'll make sure that they work, okay? So what do we really mean when we're saying wrathful? Are we talking about expressing fury? Are we talking about something that's furious? Well, it looks like either way, we're going to end up with that word furioso, sacado, or furioso, okay? I like the word like furioso because it's a cognate. It sounds like furious, okay? But then if we're going to describe ourselves as furious mayonnaise or wrathful mayonnaise, what are we going to do? Are we going to put that word furiosa in front of or behind mayonnaise? In Spanish, it's going to go after. So we're going to put mayonesa furioso. Furioso or furiosa? Furiosa. Beautiful. Okay. Mayonesa furiosa. Beautiful. Okay. Nice. So we figured out a really cool Spanish name. That is basically going to be step one on this journey that we're taking together. Maybe the best thing to do would be to make sure that one of the very first things that we do with our blank slides, because if we're eventually wanting it to end up like this, just like our name tent, it has to include a couple elements. It has to include what our name is in Spanish now, what that name means, or el significado, and then our real name in English, okay? So I've got all that on this slide, but on this blank slide where I'm going to be creating my new identity, I don't have that yet. So very first thing that I got to do is if I want to add text to the slide, if I want to add words to this, I've got to go over to that text box button and then just simply click in here anywhere. Okay. I always like to make sure that within my text box, which I drag nice here, I don't need it to be that big. I'm going to make sure I center align this. Okay. And then we can start typing in our name. So mayonesa, furioso. What do we say? Furioso or furiosa? Furiosa. Good hint is going to be, because this one ends in a, this one will also end in a. They're both going to be feminine words. Okay. That's generally the rule. It's not always the case. Okay. Nice. That's step one done. If you can figure out a name that you're happy with to be your alebrije, that is step one. Okay, move on to step two when you're ready.